Do you ever feel like you're just throwing money into a black hole when you set up your Facebook ad campaigns for your dropshipping store? Or maybe you just can't seem to crack the code and get things profitable. If this sounds like you are not alone. One of the biggest issues where the majority of new dropshippers fail is not being able to master paid ads, whether it be Facebook or TikTok ads. And I was exactly the same back when I got started with dropshipping. I spent around about $800 just to get a single sale. So I know exactly what it's like to watch your Shopify visitor count go up and up and up while you're still spending money on ads, only to end that day with absolutely no sales whatsoever. However, over the last 5 years, I've spent over $5 million learning what works, but most importantly, what doesn't. And not only that, I've been able to stay on top of the changes throughout the years in an ever-changing industry. In today's video, I'm going to be revealing to you a Facebook ads strategy that's currently bringing in some great results. Not only that, I'm going to be revealing to you the results in real time and also showing you exactly how you can replicate this for yourself so that you can start getting some results with your dropshipping store. So if you're tired of seeing your hard-earned money go down the drain, you're gonna wanna watch all of this video because it could be the game changer that you needed to take you to the next level. So first and foremost, let me show you inside of an ad account just to show you that these strategies actually work. So you can see here inside of the ad account here that I've got 2 campaigns. Now these 2 campaigns are 2 different strategies. I'm gonna show you both of these testing strategies so that you can implement them for yourself, okay? And it depends on the country that you're targeting and what you're trying to achieve, but we'll talk about that a little later in the video. Now the reporting is a little bit off. These results are actually better than what you can see here, because obviously iOS 14 and tracking issues and those kind of things. But you can see here that this one is 2.73, which is around about 3x when we actually compare the Shopify data to what has been spent, or if you're looking at UTMs. And this one's more about 1.9ish, okay? So both of them do work, and both of these strategies are highly effective, especially if you're just testing out products to validate whether or not it's something that's going to work. I know this strategy works because I've personally put my own money behind it and battle testing it. However, I just want to stress something. You will never make any money if you don't have these 3 things, regardless of the strategy that you test out. The first thing is you need a solid product. You need something that either solves a problem or has a wow unique effect when people see it. Now you also ideally need a great profit margin. Ideally anything that you can mark up from 3 to 5x. You need around about a 65% plus or more gross margin. The second thing is you need a Shopify store that is highly optimized, that turns visitors into buyers. If you're sending traffic, no matter what strategy you're using, to a trash product page, if your dropshipping store looks like trash, trust me, it doesn't matter what strategy you use, you will not make any money. The third and final thing is you need to have good creatives. Now I'll probably drop a whole video on how to come up with creatives and how to put them together. And if you want that, drop a comment down below and let me know if there's enough traction. I will go ahead and shoot something like that. But like I've mentioned, you need to have good creatives that first and foremost capture the attention and sells the click. If you can't do those things, it doesn't matter what testing strategy or scaling strategy that you use, unfortunately, you're never going to make any money. So bear in mind, you need these 3 things for any strategy to work. So this is the first Facebook ads testing strategy that you can use for your dropshipping stores, okay? You can see here, all of these, right, are interests, right? And I'm gonna show you an overview of this, and then we'll actually dive inside of an ad account and show you how to set this up from scratch for yourselves. But what I've done in here is I've actually done some duplication in here. Not all of these are the same because I'm kind of like testing out a different landing page and stuff like that. But let me show you an overview of what this looks like so you can get a better perspective before we actually show you the other strategy and how you can actually set this up for yourself. So this is the strategy overview, so you can see what it looks like, and essentially it's very easy to set up, and it's just something that I've done for a long period of time and it just works, okay? Especially if you're just trying to test out quick products, right? And basically it's an ABO campaign, okay? You can see here, which is ad set budget, meaning that we set our budget at the ad set, meaning that all of these ad sets here, okay, are going to have a different interest inside of it, right? Only one single interest inside of all of these, and they're going to be set around, I personally like to set mine at anything from $15 to $20 because I have the budget to do so. If it's you, then I recommend you can set them at around $10. Anything less than that, you're probably just wasting your time. Facebook's not going to have enough budget to be able to go ahead and optimize it. So I personally like to set mine at 15 to 20. You can set yours at 10, okay? Now, in terms of how many you need here in terms of interests, all of these are going to be different, right? And again, it's very common sense. If you can't think of things, if you're just selling, for example, if you're selling, you know, a pen, Then you would put in things like handwriting, paper, pen, pencil, stationery, etc. Don't overthink it. You don't have to overthink things. Just use common sense. Also inside of Facebook, when I'll show you, they also have, suggestions that you can use. Now, when it comes down to actually creatives here, okay, you want to use 2 creatives. I never run with just one creative. I always like to have at least 2. And most of the time, these 2 are going to be, the same video with the different first 3 seconds. That's what I personally like to use to start off with. You can do things such as having the exact same videos, but 2 different thumbnails. But to be honest, the biggest needle mover is going to be the thing, which is the video creative itself. So like I mentioned, I personally like to have 2 different videos, or alternatively, I'll have the same video with the bulk of the section the same, and the first 3 sections or the hook will be different. So let me show you the other testing strategy, and this is inside of the other campaign, okay? A lot of this is obviously blurred out, but you can see here that again, some of these results are good, some of them aren't as great, but I am testing out landing pages and stuff like that. Essentially, when it comes down to testing, that's the only thing you are doing. You are testing to see if something is good or not. If it isn't, then again, you would cut it, etc. And I'll talk about that a little later in the video, but ultimately you're trying to find out and figure out what resonates with the customer, what's getting the clicks, what's getting the add to carts, and ultimately what's getting the purchases. So let me show you an overview of what this testing campaign looks like. So this campaign here is a little bit different, but you can see here the structure itself is very, very similar. So first and foremost, again, we're starting off with an ABO campaign, which means you are setting the budget again at the ad set level. But here's the difference. With this campaign, we are not testing out interests. Instead, we are testing out hooks that resonate with the customer, okay? So you can see here, I personally like to go completely broad, which means I'm only targeting a demographic, meaning that when I'm going broad, I'm going anything from 25 to 65-year-olds, and whether it be men, if it's a male product, or females, if it's a female product. If it resonates with both, then I just literally just click all. Now, you may be thinking, okay, what are these different hooks? And we'll talk about that in a moment in time when it comes down to creatives. But these hooks can be anything that resonate with the product. So we could have, this one could be, 5 reasons why everyone's purchasing whatever it may be. Or this one could be point of view, you've just purchased X, whatever it may be. And this one could be, are you tired of X, Y, and Z? This product is the solution. So what you're trying to find here is the hook that's going to resonate with the people the most. And these 2 creatives, again, are not going to be the same. They're going to be the same that resonates with these hooks. So these captions would be the same. Again, 5 reasons why, but the first 3 seconds would be a different scene. So for example, 5 reasons why, and this could be of a dog. Again, this could be 5 reasons why, this would be a cat, but they fall underneath that same hook. So there's 2 different strategies that you can utilize to test out your Facebook ads. Now, when it comes to budget, I personally like to have mine at $15 to $20. Again, you don't want to go anything less than $10 per ad set. Now, when it comes to actually creatives itself, because you're going broad, you can test as many different hooks as you want. And the creative itself is going to do the targeting. You may be thinking, oh, so if I go completely broad, how are Facebook going to know who's going to buy the products? Well, you got to remember that Facebook algorithm is extremely highly intelligent, which means it's going to actually take all of the information in your creative. It's going to scan your ad copy. It's going to scan your captions. It has the ability to also analyze what's actually in the video and also what's on your product page and show that to the people who are most likely to convert. And that's why going broad sometimes is the best answer to Facebook ads. So now let me show you exactly how you can set these up for yourself in your own ad accounts. So the first thing you need to do obviously is click on create. And then once you're here on create, you want to go down to sales. If you scroll down here on here, you just want to put, ABO test, which is whatever the name of this, the test is, the product, sorry. And then this one, I just like to put on, if we're testing up the first one, they'd like to have 25 to 65. And then obviously name of the interest in here, but we don't know what we're going to do. And then here's obviously just going to be C1 for creative 1. And simply just click continue. So because we're doing ABO, you would leave this off, okay? And if we close this down here and click on ad sets and then open this up here. So what we first need, obviously this ad account doesn't have any pixels, but obviously you would have your pixel here and you would want to make sure that you are optimizing for purchase. Okay, that's very important to do so. And I'm going to tell you how to connect your pixel and all that kind of stuff. That's a whole different video. So inside of ad set, you will have all of this information here. Now, first and foremost, you want to make sure that you are on website. And because I've not set up a pixel on this ad account, your pixel, once all set up, it would be here and you want to optimize for the purchase event. Very important that you do that, okay? Now, scrolling down, of course, you have your daily budget. We've already talked about that. And I personally like to schedule it for the next day, okay? Next day at 1 a.m. so that it gets a full 24 hours or 23 hours to optimize, right? If you scroll down here, again, you'll just select the country that you are targeting, where you're running your ads to, right? And obviously age, I personally like to go for 21 and above. Depending on the product price, sometimes I'll set it at 25 and above. I never go less than 21, right? If you scroll down here, now we have our detailed targeting. So going back to, take an example here, let's just say we are selling a kids products. If we just put in something like parents, okay? It's going to give us this one here. So I always just start off with something very, very broad like this. And again, I personally like to leave this on because I want Facebook just to do all the detailed targeting for me. And again, here I leave advantage placements plus on as well. And that's pretty much it for the first ad set. Onto the ad level. Now we'll talk about creatives in a moment in time, but first and foremost, you just need to set this up. Now, what I usually do again here is if you just have this, you'd upload your image or video ad by clicking on this one here, add image. I personally always untick this multi-ad advertisers ads because I don't like it. Again, here's where you just select your page, and here obviously was where you'd put your primary text, your headline, your description. And again, I personally like to have this on shop now. Okay, and this is obviously where your website URL would be, and then scroll down here, this is where you'd have your UTMs. And then once you've done your first creative, you would then just simply go ahead and click on duplicate. Okay, duplicate that here, and then all you would do is just literally just call this, C2, and then make changes and have your other creative in there. So now once I've done this, I just need to duplicate it and switch out the interest. It's as simple as that. So what I would then do is just click on duplicate, right? And then you could just put this to, let's say, around about 6, or 5, so that you've got 6 in total, okay? And once this is then loaded, all you've then got to do is just switch out the interest, okay? So scrolling down here, the only thing we need to change here is this interest here. And like I mentioned before, Facebook will give you suggestions. So you can try out married, but from my experience, it works okay. But some of the good ones here, if you're selling a kids product, is, for example, like toys is a very good one here. And again, all you do is just click off this, take this here. If you scroll on there, now we're on toys, click on this. And if we go on name, and then all we've got to do is just change this to toys, save to draft, and there we go, untick this one, and you do that same process, again, different interest for all of these ad sets. Hopefully you're getting tons of value from this video. Just a quick message, if you want me to personally help you to start and scale your own dropshipping business, then click the link down below and apply for my coaching and mentorship program to see if it'd be a good fit for you. With that being said, let's get back into the video. So now that I've showed you how to set up the first testing strategy, let me show you how to set up the second testing strategy. So we'd set up the campaign exactly the same, but as we were at ad sets, so we'd click on edit here. And remember, this one would be completely broad. So we'll just name this broad. And if you scroll down here, okay, what we would do is literally just get rid of this here. So we're not targeting anybody at all. The only thing we're targeting here is just a certain demographic, okay, ages, and again, if you're targeting a certain gender, then this would be either male or female, or it would just completely be all. Now, one thing we would do is we would obviously name this whatever our hook is. So if this was 3 reasons why, all of our creatives that are based around this angle or hook here would be inside of here. Now, if I go to ads, of course, these would be 2 different things on here. Then it's pretty much exactly the same. We would just pretty much just duplicate this, put 3 in here. And all we would then do is change out the creatives and the hooks, So for example, we just click on this one here, change this out to, POV, whatever it may be, click on this. And then obviously all of our creatives for POV would be underneath this one here, and so on and so forth. One important thing that I mentioned earlier is you need to have good creatives. The creative is the first thing that the person sees. So if your creative does not capture anyone's attention, then unfortunately you can't sell anything at all. Now, how to create good video creatives is a whole different video in itself. However, it just needs a few things. First and foremost, you need to capture the attention in the first 3 seconds. Then you just want to agitate the problem that they're facing and show your product as a solution. From there, you want to talk about the benefits of how it's going to help their life, throw in some social proof, and then finally have a fantastic guarantee which reverses the risk. And then of course, make sure you put a call to action to get them to click. With creatives, it's all about the angles and hooks, and you can use ChatGPT to do that for you. So let me show you how. So here are some hooks and angles that you can use to sell an indestructible dog toy, right? I've said to ChatGPT, give me 5 hooks and angles for this product, make each one target a different pain point. And we've got 5 different angles here, such as save money. So are you tired of spending a small fortune on dog toys that barely last a week? We've got reduce stress, we've got protect belongings, provide mental stimulation for the dog, and eco-friendly. So there are some different angles that we can use, and then we can use ChatGPT to go further to refine and give us some different hooks that we can use for those first 3 seconds. Now, one final question you're probably wondering is when to actually cut, scale, and leave things. Well, analyzing data is a whole different video in itself. But if you do want me to drop a video on that, then let me know in the comments down below. In short, pretty much I always like to leave stuff running for at least 2 to 3 days, because then I've got enough data to be able to make some informed decisions. The only reason why I would cut anything on day 1 is if I had no sales whatsoever and there was pretty much non-existent buying intent. What I mean by that is I wasn't getting any add to carts or initiate checkouts. But most of the time, if I don't make a sale on the first day, 9 times out of 10, I'll cut the campaign, only because I know that I've set things up the right way. And if I don't get a sale on the first day, I'm pretty much just cutting it on that day and not letting it run for another. So hopefully you got some value from this video, but like I mentioned at the start, if you don't have a good product, good website, and good creatives, then it doesn't matter what strategy you do, you are not going to make any money. If you would like my personal help to help you start and scale your own dropshipping business, then click the link down below and apply for my coaching and mentorship program. Finally, don't forget to drop a like on the video for the algorithm, help your boy out. I am trying to get to 100,000 subscribers this year. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you smash that button so that you stay up to date with all of my latest content. But that is it for this video. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.